All right, starting out with this one here in Orlando, Florida. Right off the bat, I can tell you that the camera makes this look like it's further than it is, but that is not nearly a large enough following distance, especially for 82 miles an hour down here. You can avoid a lot of problems, avoid a lot of issues in driving by just leaving a proper following distance. People hate being followed too closely. It makes them road rage, act aggressively. Um, yeah, so leave a bigger gap. We'll see why in a second. Now you see him speed up a little bit because it looks like he's trying to fit over here. Doesn't use a turn signal, but he gets over. Now, I don't like that he hit his brakes here, but understand something. You can't see the car in front of him, but you can see its shadow. Now, you know the camera shows it as being further apart than it is. Shadow here, shadow there, right? They are not very far apart. I have a feeling the guy in front slammed on his brakes when this guy moved over. Maybe he was being a dick. Maybe he was concerned. There's a lot of reasons for it, but you can't see the car in front there. All you know is there's not a big enough gap. So this person starts slowing down, as they should. But again, to start with, guys, I'm sorry. I know it's difficult. You need to leave a gap large enough for 3 cars to fit into. So you have time to stop in an emergency. And you'll see why right here in a second. Now you've got a good enough gap here. He zooms in on the camera, but he's got a good enough gap, and that's why he was able to get over. You see there's no one behind him, so no real issue there. But here's the thing. He was tailgating. He was following way too closely, right? Could have got a ticket for that, and will, with all this video, will be responsible for the accident. But you can avoid a lot of problems here by just leaving a large enough gap, okay? He didn't cut you off. You just didn't leave a big enough gap. But I'm very happy you're safe. Good job to this driver. Good job, defensive driving. All right, now this one is a little hard to watch because this is pretty avoidable. It is very difficult driving conditions. It is raining very hard, but from the very opening clip right here, there's no GPS that I can see. Nothing to tell me the speed that they are traveling, except that it is way, way, way too fast for the road conditions and for the weather. Not sure if they have really good tires on there or not. It appears to be a Corolla that they were driving. So certainly front wheel drive, well made, capable of driving in rain, but if you've got really good tires, and you should be going well below the speed limit when it looks like this, because, well, watch. That is hard. You slammed on your brakes immediately. Counter steering when starting to skid is much better. But, oh, it's a Hyundai, I see, not a Corolla. It's a small Hyundai. Basically, my man, you are lucky to get out of there alive. You need to make sure you slow down when you're driving in poor weather conditions. If you're not comfortable driving on the freeway in those conditions, get off the freeway or pull all the way over and put on your hazards. But if you're not comfortable driving, it's much better to get off the freeway. Just get on slower, easier roads. You know, there's trees on the side to help block the rain hitting your windshield. That might be your preference. But I'm glad you're not injured on this one, buddy. Whew. All right. Now this one is important for a very simple reason. I'm going to make this point a lot, that when it comes to an accident, the absolute best thing for you is avoidance, right? Because any accident is going to be significantly more expensive than the one you can avoid. Not to mention the problem you're about to see here, right? I want you to watch how hard, or maybe how not hard, this Tesla gets struck in this accident here on the freeway in Florida. Cruising along, I don't have a miles per hour, but doesn't look tremendously fast. This guy is going way too fast. Came in, hit the side, right? Some damage to that rear wheel, looks like. Some damage to the body on the back corner. Back there, driver's been charged. Oh, so here's the point of it, everyone. Like, totaled. That was not a hard impact. Between planned obsolescence and the fact that companies are charging a tremendous amount to repair things, right? As cars have gone through the roof, so has the cost to repair them. So an impact on the freeway of pretty much any kind is going to totally total a Tesla. Teslas are not cheap. No cars are cheap. Remember, avoidance, right? Anything you can do. So always keeping an eye in the rear view, always leaving a good gap between you and the person in front of you, and keeping a weather eye on that rear view mirror, knowing which lanes are open so you can move over instead of hitting into people, so you can clear away from accidents, because it takes so little to totally total a Tesla. I'll be honest, this one actually kind of irritated me. Because the driver gets angry at this person for jaywalking, and to be fair, they're jaywalking. It's not a great time to cross the street. Got a GPS on this one. Looks like we're doing about 42 miles an hour, 40, 42. Looks like about a road would be 40, 45. So they're not speeding at all. But definitely an area where you've got a decent population of people hanging around. And you see pedestrians on the right side running up here. I don't know when the driver and his passenger actually see this lady start to cross the road. But we're going 40, 40 something. They see her coming. This is where I start to get annoyed. Okay? She's already cleared those two lanes. They're in this lane. They're not getting into this lane. Right? So what it comes down to is whatever dude is driving this truck, car, whatever it is, they are too prideful to just slow down a little bit and let this lady finish crossing the road. Right? Now, you could argue she's jaywalking, but for fuck's sake, it's right there. It's right there. It's like 18 feet away. It's not like maybe she didn't feel like running all the way to the damn crosswalk to get back over. It's harder to walk than it is to sit your ass in a car. So yeah, you shouldn't just be clonking along at 40 miles an hour. You should have been slowing down when you saw her start to cross, and she would have already been crossed. But now she's going to freak out because you make a whole big deal out of it. Slam on that horn. Yeah, I agree. What the hell is wrong with you? Why couldn't you just let somebody cross the road? Why does your pride demand that you have to go ahead of them? Why is your shit, whatever you're doing, so much more important than just letting someone across the road? Right? Like, good job scaring the shit out of her. She would have made it across, but you're the one that made it into a horrible thing. I mean, based off the timbre of your voice, I think I'm just going to say, okay, boomer. Thanks for all you're doing to make the world a better place. God, like common sense, people. Common sense, right? Just slow down a little bit, wave her across, roll your window down, wave her across. It could have been nothing. It could have been nothing. But you made it into something stupid. All right, so here's one. It's hard to watch, but good example of some defensive driving for our driver right here. And then the driver to his right in the Tesla is going to get hit by traffic coming across this way by a pickup truck that runs a stale red light. By my count, about a 3/1000 count for the red light that he went through, he or she. I'm not 100% sure if they mentioned that at the end. However, the majority of accidents being reported, the vast majority of accidents being reported are due to distraction, due to paying attention to something other than driving. Doesn't always have to be a cell phone. It often is. But the most likely scenario you are going to encounter when it comes to another bad driver is not going to be someone intentionally trying to cut you off or be mean or try to strike their vehicle into yours. But the most likely scenario you will encounter, and probably encounter every day, if you drive every day, is a distracted driver. And that's probably what this is going to be attributed to. The real lesson here is just as hard as it is. When you go, you have to be looking left and right. You have to be looking for cross traffic for these drivers who are not paying attention, who might come up to a light that just turned red and it was green when he looked down to look at his text. Green when she looked down to see what the thermostat was on, what the temperature was, see, where her gum was, or see what his kid was doing in the back seat. I don't know if there was a child involved. The point just being, this man or woman who was driving, this driver, was able to look and see that this person ran a stale light. So this person was able to avoid it. The Tesla driver, admittedly, while you would not be concerned about people coming from the left, this is where you need to be concerned. Because a few seconds ago, when this driver was last paying attention, they had a green light on a presumably 40 to 50 mile an hour road. So that's where the common sense maxing comes in. How do you avoid this? Well, this driver did. And this driver could have also been looking left, could have waited 2 or 3 seconds to start. You might get honked at by the person behind you. Chances are they're not paying attention either. Just go ahead and take the 2 seconds, but always make sure, especially when you're crossing a high mile power road, that you are looking left or right. Because the best accident ever is the one that you never got into and avoided completely.